Okay, YouTube. So good day, and this is a hard one for me. I've looked this one up a couple times, and it's from a brew pub here in Montreal called Lamiere à Boire, and Lamiere à Boire, and it says like Pilsner Tahike, and it's 4.8% alcohol by volume. Now, on the back, everything's in French, but the only thing I can find talking about it is that it's a Pilsner with Saaz hops. It doesn't say the name of it anywhere or anything like that other than Pilsner avec Saaz. And then if you look the beer up, the tag, the barcode does not bring anything up. And the only beer they have on Untapped that's the percentage of this is just called Pivo. And I know Pivo would be basically beer to some places, but I don't know if it's a Pivo Pils, if this just actually isn't the name, the Pilsner Tahik. I don't know. It was $5.29 for a can, which is a lot for a Pilsner, but again, I found that Quebec seems to have a lot higher prices on craft beer than major brand beer. So we will put the glass here this time. Usually we do the glass first, but slightly off-white head, lots of it, a slight haze to that beer, and I mean that's not just the plastic, there actually is a slight haze to it, but it is a brassy golden color. We will give the can a sniff first this time, and then we'll switch them up. Almost has that unhappy butterscotch scent under just beer. So we'll switch this up. Lamiere à Boire. Lamiere à Boire. It's been a long time since I've done French. I don't 100% remember what that would mean. Out of the glass. And I mean, the glass kind of has it too. It kind of just has that. I don't know how to say it. It just kind of has that smell, that beer smell, and there is almost a little bit of butterscotch notes to it. Let's try it. Slanche. Okay. You have the usual Pilsner-esque flavors up at the forefront of straw, of cut grass. And then you go, instead of going to that clean, just kind of slightly spicy, slightly cut grass finish, you get a very bitter Saaz flavor. So you're getting that spiciness, you're getting that cut grass note, but it's just very in your face. Like there was a lot more Saaz used than would normally be used. And I mean, we actually were talking about this on a BDU recently, Chris and I, and about how, when you get a craft brewed Pilsner or just regular lager or anything like that, they seem to want to make it more than it needs to be. And this seems to be the problem here too. This is more than it needs to be. It's a beer, and it's not. A Pilsner should just be a beer, just an easy drinking beer. You want it to be flavorful, that's great, but you still need it to be well balanced, because a Pilsner should just be easy drinking and refreshing, and anyone can go to it. I mean, a Pilsner 10 years ago for me was just too boring for me, I'd be like, a Pilsner's a Pilsner, it's fine. I want something more. Well, now I'm getting older, and a Pilsner is a Pilsner, and it's fine, but it needs to just be a Pilsner, and there's not a lot of Pilsners that seem to be just Pilsners anymore. Could this be the flavor that Pilsners were more akin to be back in the original days? Sure, it could be, but you hear a lot of German breweries say that they're brewing to the same recipe they used to, and they don't taste anything like that. They taste more like a macro brew, so I don't believe that they're actually brewing to the same recipe they used to, especially because most of the German Pilsners that I've had have been German export Pilsners, and they don't necessarily have to follow the purity law when they're exporting the beer. That's why a lot of places like Beck started brewing in the US, because then they really didn't have to follow any purity law, and they didn't have to worry about cross-contamination or anything, because they were brewing in the States anyway. It's a good beer. It is. Don't get me wrong. The whole forefront of the beer is exactly what you would think from a Pilsner. The whole back of the beer is what you'd expect from Pilsner on steroids. It's like it's roid raging on the back of your palate. It's like, fuck you, you're gonna taste me. And it's not something you need. It's not a bad beer. I don't think I would buy it again, especially not at $5.30 a bottle. Oh, sorry, a can. I'd give it, I don't know, I'd give it a 6.75. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's roid raging on the back of my palate, and I don't need that when I'm drinking a Pilsner. Maybe an IPA or something like that, but a Pilsner, no. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.